If you would like to get your song reviewed, dear listener, there's the Filthy Capitalist option. As Sori says, $125 gets you straight to the head of the line. You don't have to be a part of the alliance. You don't have to be part of the group.
Wait a minute.
And the biggest thing is you don't have to wait. You hop, skip, and jump right in front of everybody. $125 gets you there. You do that 3 times, and then get mashed down to the $75 rate for perpetuity.
Yes!
Also, there is a band review option. So if you've got a band and you're trying to get your band some exposure, hit me up at insori@gmail.com, and I'll show you the details about how to pull that off.
You can also jump on Patreon, and there is a option on the tiers to be able to get your band reviewed. Yep. Obviously, we can't lie to you, so we can't guarantee a positive review. Get what you get.
It's just rubbish.
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 That's British for garbage.
My favorite is the community option. $1 at the gate gets you in at Patreon. You get to join an alliance. The alliance joins their points together, and that helps determine what songs that we do.
The alliances hang out on Discord.
Message me on Patreon to get the link.
And they do all kinds of other cool things. They do Minecraft, Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah. It's really a community within the community. Anybody can go on the village, facebook.com/Vin and Sori. There's 160,000+ people on the channel. What's cool about the Discord is that it offers a real opportunity for community connection, friendship, that type of thing.
And it's on Discord, so if you're not a Facebook person, it's for you.
You start off at $1.
Right.
Plus you get exclusives. Sori and I are working on a song. So the first 15 seconds of that was on Patreon. Also, at $15 tier and above, when we actually debut the video, they're going to be there live with us. There you are, dear listener.
Buy our merch.
Buy our merch indeed, and y'all shall lead them.
To buy our merch.
Yes, dear listener, yes, dear listener, yes, dear listener. We are in the midst of a marathon stream, dear listener.
Giant
We're not
stream.
halfway through. Here we go.
All right, you guys. Up next is a song for our homie, Middle Earth. Okay, so the name of the band, it's ... and Oceans. Or maybe it's just and Oceans. The name of the song is Within Fire and Crystal. Ooh. So he says, Finnish symphonic black metal, one of my favorite albums of 2023.
Ooh.
So let's check it out.
I cannot wait. I cannot wait. Is there anything else? Let me get
Nope.
these. Let me get these lyrics.
Somebody lost my straw.
Ring
I'm
of
going to say who it was.
I don't understand why you don't just buy another one. Of all the Amazon things to finally hold discipline on, that's what you do. Alright. Here we go, guys. I want to make sure that we got these
Anyway,
lyrics.
I feel like a big giant gerbil when I drink out of it like this.
A gerbil?
You know how their water things go out and they pop into the cage and they drink from it like that? Like it's like this big giant water bottle.
You're so cute, I swear. Alright, here we go. Here we go. Vin and the gerbil.
Let's go!
Or, paperweight and Sori used to say.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Everybody's like, wait a second, Sori's hot, blah blah blah. And a little Negro sidekick there.
Oh no!
Alright, here we go. Yes, pick me.
I will say right out the gate, I wish they would do a remastered version of this song.
Why?
I just think some of the production decisions, like, it's black metal. Like, I would love the tremolo to be a little bit more dominant in black metal. The solo, and I will caveat, well, I mean, we just got done listening to a power metal song with pretty good production. So, but, like...
That's crazy. I did not experience it like that at all.
Well, the solo,
But
they're like I'm listening, specifically for things, especially when it's black metal. Yeah. Like I'm definitely looking for that tremolo.
Yeah.
I think like after, damn, I forgot the name of the band, but Self Crucified, Mr. Right Tree, the Hissing of Hellfire, that band, like they go the complete other direction, and like the tremolo seems to be like the first thing that they think. I mean, they rode that for like 9-10 minutes of the song. You know what I'm saying? Like, but yeah, I want to hear the Magua. Yeah. It's Magua. Good job.
I can't believe this.
Yeah, I know. It's a moment. No, but I love. In Flames needs to remaster all their songs. I just got Sori listening to In Flames like yesterday or the day before.
Last night.
And you're like, oh, I really like that. I'm like, that's In Flames, loser. That's what happens.
We did it again last night.
When you've got Apple AirPods, like you can join your.
Oh man.
Yeah, that's a pretty fun experience. I'm not gonna lie to you. It's a fun experience. Yeah. So that's just like I love the song, and the song is gonna get rated pretty high. I just like. If those things would have been done like on the production side, I think it would have just brought it to like a whole different level. You see what I'm saying? In my opinion.
Yes, yeah. I mean,
in my opinion,
I respect your opinion.
Like I still love the song.
Yeah.
But like I just think it would have sounded better production wise, like if they would have done more emphasis on the guitars. But
yeah, I mean, you might be right.
This is a really good song.
I think for me, I love the symphonic stuff.
Yeah, I know.
And just the way that the song, like, well, the song first started out, and I was like, kind of sounds like we're talking about heaven in some of the explanations. Some of the explanations of heaven are like, like the stones and the crystals and the layers of colored beauty and stuff like that. Like, it's fascinating, but then it becomes even more fascinating when you start looking into all the stuff that we look at. So it's like, wait, what is it even? But anyway.
Incredible.
Yeah, absolutely. So when you said Enoch, I was like, oh yeah, because Enoch was like taken away, and like he never saw death. Like he was swept away.
Yeah.
On something. A fiery chariot. Figure that one out. But then when you said that, I was like, oh yeah, because then some of the stuff kind of matched. But I loved the sound. I like the symphonic stuff because it's emotional, and it kind of
very emotional.
Yeah, it kind of draws that.
That's why I love black metal is my favorite genre.
Man, I'll tell you, it must have been In Flames. You played a couple of different songs, but like, oh no, it was a Neo song.
Painters of the Tempest.
Yeah.
It was a Diablo Viscara song, yeah.
Yeah.
That's
oh my word, the violin. But anyway, okay.
I'll tell you what, if you want to expand what you're capable of doing in guitar,
learn from them.
Learn that song Painters in the Tempest. It's incredible as to like what it will do with opening your mind up to songwriting and differently on guitar. Like I sat with that song for like a week straight one time, and then
I know every time I came in, you'd be playing that guy's video up there.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my word, I would not be able to listen to that like that many times.
It was during the Uvalde. It was during the Uvalde shooting, and so the song is talking about basically how kids are like the future, and the art that kids bring to the world is essentially going to be our salvation. Right. And so like, I was just working through that whole situation with God and my guitar and Neo, and it helped, man. It helped more. It's crazy to me, like, the experiences that I've had with this music and my spirituality, like, it's incredible to me. Like, there isn't one Christian song I could listen to when I was going through that. When the parents of those Uvalde kids were going through what they were going through. There wasn't one Christian song that I could listen to. But Painters of the Tempest, I could listen to. And I could, sit with Jesus in my guitar. So that's why, like, I became obsessed about learning that song. But, like, after that, like, songwriting-wise, like, it just took it to another level for sure.
I think the, like, beauty of, like, symphonic sounding stuff, while at the same time, like, the ugliness, so to speak, of, like, those vocals is just...
Yeah.
I feel like when you were playing that song again, I mean that this is a different song that we're talking about, but when the Painter of the Tempest one, when I was listening to it, I thought there should be so many Christian songs like this, because as Christians we know, like, that like, we're deeply flawed. Like, deeply flawed is such a bad way of putting it. Like, we're sinners, and so, like, we're corrupt to the core. Like, if we were to completely just listen to every evil part of ourselves, like, we would just be, there's just worlds of destruction in us, and toward ourselves or toward other people or whatever. So I'm like, when I heard that, it was like, it was the beauty of the violin, and then it was juxtaposed with that vocal style, and so it was just incredible. So I just love, because I feel like it melds together, like, the deeply sinful part of us that is not renewed here, mixed with the beauty and the glory of all that Christ has done to reunite us with God, even in our current state.
But yeah, like Middle is saying, like, the lyrics are trippy, but, like, you can immediately recognize them as, like, Book of Enoch literature.
Yeah, once you said that, I mean, I have not read the Book of Enoch, but I'm familiar with some
so the
by...
Enokian literature is basically this idea of this guy who gets brought to heaven and, like, shown the behind-the-scenes stuff. Mm-hmm. And he gets very specific about names of angels. That's where Raphael and all those names come from. And Shemyaza, Azazel, all the rest of those guys. Like, well, Azazel is mentioned in Leviticus, I'm pretty sure. But, like, it's just it's a fascinating, it's like a combination of sci-fi and the Book of Job. Like,
that's interesting.
Like, God showed up to Job and, like, where were you, where are the storehouses of crystal? Where, for snow and frost? And it was just incredible. I remember the first time I read Job, I'm like, this is incredible.
I used to read, I think it's Job 37. I used to read it every time we'd have in Maine, there's not, like, a lot of thunderstorms, a couple of them in a year.
Yeah.
And I would read that chapter about him calling the lightning and telling it to go, and I loved it.
Yeah.
Job is, a cool book.
Yeah. Like, and no, Enoch was not universally looked upon as canonical until the Catholic Church took it out. That's not true. It's not true. The Jews did not put Enokian literature at the same level as they would put Leviticus or Deuteronomy or whatever. It's a myth. Okay, so this is Enoch talking about him being brought. I mean, this right here, like, when I start the highlight, that's a direct quote from the book. That's why they have it in quotations. Yeah. Within dwellings of fire and crystal, I saw the ends of the earth, where on immortality rests, and the portals were open, and I saw how the stars of the skies came forth, and I counted the portals out of which they proceeded, wrote down all their outlets of each individual star by itself, according to their number, their names, their connections, their positions, their times, and their months. And then he gets invited, so, like, he's brought into this experience where he's, which, it's so crazy to me. I've been familiar with Enokian literature all my life. But, like, the UFO stuff that we've been looking at, on top of the Bernardo Kastrup analytic idealism, on top of Hoffman's conscious agents theory, with Jacques Vallée's, hey, they're interdimensional instead of interplanetary. Mm-hmm. They're superdimensionals, they're not extraterrestrials. Like, when you put all of that together, and I read the Book of Enoch, I'm like, damn, like, what did he experience? Because, like, before, it would be like, if this legitimately happened, it was just a vision.
Right.
And like, there's a difference in my mind between quote vision and reality. But now, like, that's not necessarily that far apart to me. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah. 100%.
Because if somebody were to pin me down, I would say that we're in a vision right now. And there is a sense in which we already know this. Like, everybody's looking at me through either a computer screen, a TV screen, or a phone screen. Yeah. But everybody knows that I do not fit into that thing.
Right.
So this is a programmed hallucination that we're all taking part in.
Right.
Like, right now, I'm literally talking to a camera right now. I'm not talking to you. I'm not looking at you.
It's so weird because, it doesn't feel like that. I feel like we're all here together.
Right. Yeah. So it's like they're having a vision or a hallucination of me, but they're really interacting with me, though. This is also a really interesting Trinitarian thing, because I'm here and I'm here at the same time, and all the rest of it, which obviously is not a complete metaphor for the Trinity, because my entire being is not in the screen, but there's a sense in which I'm at three places at once, whatever, right?
Yeah.
So, but like, now when I think about what these lyrics are saying, it's like, I believe dude had some sort of experience, like a real experience, visionary experience, or whatever that is. And like, the line between technology and spirituality, and that's the other thing in the Pasulka book, American Cosmic, I've been like on this crazy rabbit hole. Like, I'm about to like just create an entirely new channel. I always say that, but I never do it. But like, no, you always say that and I never do it. But like, the line between technology and what we call the supernatural, it's insane to me. Like, when Tesla, all these people like had these weird, strange ideas and rituals that they, like, historical moments, like NASA, the internet, like, they were into these crazy rituals where they were saying they were downloading information from immaterial beings. Read the book American Cosmic. Dr. Diana Pasulka is her name. It's incredible. It's just incredible to me. So it's like, and you know what's crazy to me? You know what's really crazy to me?
What?
Do you remember the first Farrakhan video I showed you? It was Farrakhan challenging the Pope. He said, "You call on your God, I'll call on my God, and the God that answers with fire, that will be the God that'll win the day." And then he said, "My God is operating on the wheel." You remember when he talked about Farrakhan was talking about the wheel? And he's essentially saying that he met Elijah Muhammad after Elijah Muhammad died. Farrakhan said he met him in a UFO.
Please come over here.
Okay, so Farrakhan is saying that he met his mentor Elijah Muhammad in a UFO. And I'm like, this is ridiculous. He was in Chile at the time. And he was going up the steps to like some sort of Mayan ruin or something like that. Sit down. Siéntate. And like, and then so he was challenging the Pope, and he was saying, you know, he's saying our forces are in the wheel, you know, these UFOs supposedly. He's like, you believe in spooky, you know, spiritualism. I don't believe in that shit. I believe in like real.
I forgot about this. That's right.
And I was mocking. I was like, this guy's like, this is like, I love Farrakhan obviously, but this is craziness. And now I'm like, yo, I don't know. He maybe did have an experience with. I'll say this.
Did you forget about that and just remember it now, or you've been thinking about it all
no.
along?
I've been thinking about it the whole time. Like, as I'm starting to see all the. I mean, there are literally hundreds of thousands of reports, and now you've got people in the military talking about these.
Oh yeah.
These, what we would call supernatural experiences with these beings or whatever, and like, I'm just like, damn, man, like. I just think the world is a lot stranger than we give it credit for, and like the difference between sci-fi and history, like that's the other thing. Like, is it science fiction or is it history? You know what I'm saying? Like for example, like 600 years ago, if you'd have wrote a story about a person who flew a plane, that would technically be sci-fi.
Right. But
we also know that as history. You see what I'm saying? Because that shit actually happened. And like, to a person 1,000 years ago,
the internet too.
SR-31 Blackbird that's going what, Mach 4 or whatever, like, it would be ridiculous. Like, I was reading this thing, and the same thing with the scientist, too, by the way, Vlad. I was listening to this scientist, and he was saying that there is no way that a plane can go 60 miles an hour, because if the plane was to fly at 60 miles an hour, then it would crush the occupants of the vehicle. It's like,
Really?
and this guy was saying this with all this confidence.
Yep.
Like, what the hell are you talking about? I was just doing an 85 on the Deegan. What are you talking about? But, like, so when you look at things like this, or you look at Enokian literature, and it's like, oh, this is all religious stuff. What's the line between religion and magic and advanced technology? Like, where's the line?
Yeah.
And the other thing, too, it's like, we were talking about this a couple, like, songs ago. It's like, a woman is converting bread and some chicken and some lettuce and some juice. She ingests that, and then that gets converted into a kid's eye. Mm-hmm. What?
Yeah.
It's just met. People are like, oh, that's a gestational process. All you're doing is labeling the magic
Right.
that we're witnessing.
Right.
Like, this is incredible.
Yeah, and we were watching that video last night of Vaughn and him fighting this other kid in jail.
Yeah.
And when I saw that, and then everybody was saying, they asked him, "Are you hurt?" And everybody was saying, "No, they were fine." And I was like, "This is so crazy! Like, they just got done fighting like that, but they're all banking on the fact that God is going to heal their bodies. Because
Right.
if your bodies didn't heal unless you saw the doctor,
Correct.
I mean, you'd have to, you know what I mean? But
Right.
like everybody, but even that, like, it's just so normal to
Yeah.
us that we don't even realize the process. Like, you cut yourself and it heals.
It's
heal.
ridiculous. Yeah.
Like,
you,
if
you
you
have
were the only
invisible
one that
bugs.
had that.
You have invisible bugs in your body. And then you have these things called white blood cells that go and attack those things.
Yeah, if you were the only one that had a body that did that, you'd be a god.
Right. Correct.
But again, it's one of those things where it's happening to everybody, so it's normalized,
Yeah,
and we
so-
don't realize the wonder of it.
I'm not sure how dismissive I can be of any of these people's experiences. You know what I'm saying? Like, because like I said, like the more I listen to these people and the experiences they've had, and sure, they could. Everybody's lying, I guess. You know, those kids in Zimbabwe saw the craft come down and all that. They were just made up this random lie and all told the same lie. Okay, like I guess. I mean, if you people believe what they want to believe, you know what I'm saying? So like, do I believe that there was a guy named Enoch that had these experiences? Yeah, I do. I really do. Even though it's not canonical or whatever, I just think there's just too many. The pattern of that book and then the things that are said in the New Testament, and then people I know who have not read Enokian literature, but who are describing things almost exactly the same way as Enoch would.
Yeah.
And then I'm looking at Mayan culture who has no, and I'm like, that sounds very familiar. Like, something is going on, like, and it doesn't fit in anybody's little template of interpreting reality. Like, and I love that. That terrifies a lot of people. But I love that the world is strange and that we don't know anything. Like, and that, you know, we're not at the top of the food chain. Like, it's interesting, like, watching people when they're talking about, like, these experiences they've had, and one of their biggest traumas is the fact that they're not the top of the food chain. Like, they're terrified about that.
Yeah.
But, I mean, that's all. I mean, good night. People are like, I wonder how religious people are going to deal with, like, an alien invasion. Please. We've got categories for those beings.
Right.
How are the materialists going to deal with it?
Right.
Well, you know, if the alien shows up and says, hey, we're just going to eliminate you all because you guys are a lower form than us, because we've been observing you, and you guys have all these categories within yourselves about people you can eliminate, so we're just going to do that. Like, I mean, good night. I'm not. I would love an alien invasion. I would love that shit. I really would. You know what I'm saying?
It's the end of the
I don't.
world.
I wouldn't even feel like it's the end of the world. I would just be like,
you know
well,
what the songs that I feel
oh yeah,
fine.
like, well, here we go. All that postmodern bullshit's out the window now.
Yeah.
Nigga, what you want?
Yeah.
It's an amazing song. Yeah, you see, it gets weird, especially the Zeta Reticuli shit. See, Zeta Reticuli. Remember this? All these beings that keep talking about they're from Zeta Reticuli. I think them niggas lying, bro. They ain't from Zeta Reticuli. You from another dimension, bro.
Yep.
Jack Fille's already on you, bitches. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like the luckiest. We're the luckiest set of human beings, man, because we've got this network where we can talk to each other now, and like we can record these phenomena, and like I've told you, like I gave a timeline one time about a prediction. It kind of came true. I'm telling you.
It's happened a lot of times. We've given predictions and they came
I'm
true.
specifically talking about this stuff. Like I'm telling y'all,
Yeah.
in the next 18 months to 3 years, y'all, shit's gonna get.
Heck.
Your life is never gonna be the same. I'll say it that way. So like, yeah, I really feel, with all the science and philosophy, and it's crazy because most of it is not Christian. Joe Rogan just had Stephen Meyer on his show.
Oh, really?
Stephen Meyer is a guy that's going like head up with like creationism and like killing shit right now. He's killing it right now. And
Wait,
Stephen
he's
Meyer.
going against creationism?
No, he's boldly like attacking. You know, I mean, evolution has always had weak spots.
I see.
But he's attacking certain aspects of it, and he's not a young Earth creationist. He's not a 6,000 years old guy. He's a 14.7 billion years ago guy. Like he's not one of those people. But he's just brilliant, really brilliant. And I saw him on Rogan. But for the most part, it's been, Kastrup is you can call him a secularist, but he's certainly not a theist in the convention. Certainly not a Christian. I mean, literally, his God has multiple personality disorder. I mean, literally. And then you've got Hoffman, which is Hoffman is like the only thing I've ever seen him be dogmatic about. Hoffman is evolution by natural selection. He says, whatever we find to build on, Einstein's theories or whatever, or new kind of physics or whatever, it always has to be aligned with evolution by natural selection. So, like, that's Hoffman's big thing. And so it's like, I'm listening, but a lot of these disciplines, they're not, like, Christian disciplines. But when they talk, I'm like, oh my God, like this is insane, like this is crazy, because the Bible gives us a world like this, because the world that these people are in is insane. That's why Kurt Jaimungal was like, yo, he had to go to a therapist after talking to Kastrup, because he was like, yo, if this shit is real, what he's talking about, like everything I know is crazy, like it's insane, like.
Yeah.
I was just I was listening to this guy on the, because Sean Ryan, an ex-Navy SEAL guy, he's having all these military people who have had paranormal experiences. They testified in Congress last week, and now he's got them on the show.
Yeah.
And the guy that was talking about this like 5-ton monolith that was just levitating.
Right. Yeah.
Like, it's just insane, like what these people are talking about. Like these are like typical special forces, Southern, big, very intelligent. Not like Harvard intelligent, although you will find like Harvard intelligent people in the community, but like just intelligent, just raw intelligence.
Yeah.
But hasn't funneled through a university. See what I'm saying? And like listening to these people talk, it's like, oh my gosh, like this is incredible. And then the last guy that was talking to him was stationed in Antarctica, and he was and I knew this. He was talking about quantum entanglement, right? You spin the particle this way, you spin it this way, you can send it 100 billion light years that way and that way and that way, and it doesn't matter. They'll communicate with each other instantaneously. And somebody, according to this guy, figured out how to move that from the particle space to the like actual communication space, so you're like having instant communication and teleportation and all the rest of it, which sounds absolutely kooky, but there is a scientific way to make it happen if you can figure out how to marshal quantum entanglement into other things on purpose instead of just observing it. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So there's just so much stuff in the world. So when Enoch is having this giant discussion, I saw the stars, I saw all this, and I had this vision, like, this is incredible to me.
Wait,
that this band was able to do this, like, respectfully. You know what I'm saying? Like it was like they took it really seriously. It's just incredible to me that in 2023, like Enoch is part of the culture. It's insane to me.
Oh yeah.
And it's black metal, like
Yeah.
But again, it's like most Christians wouldn't know that this guy was quoting Enoch. Like it's just been mind-boggling to me. Very true. All of the Torah.
A lot of Christians are afraid of that book because it wasn't put in the Bible.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know why. I'm just saying that the circles that
Enoch is quoted literally verbatim in Jude. Like, the Lord is going to come against all the ungodly for all the ungodly and harsh things that ungodly people have said about him.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all. That's a direct line-for-line quote with Enoch. Yeah, quantum entanglement mixed with the idea that our brains have quantum properties leads to some wild ideas. Correct. It's we're in a crazy world right now, and it's fun. I really enjoyed this song. 9.5.
9.3 for me.
It's so weird to hear talk about these things when it's so ingrained in most pagan beliefs. Yeah, especially Kai pointed this out to me when I was talking about conscious agents theory, because in Hoffman's mind, rocks are conscious. There is a form of consciousness in rocks and things like that. There's no such thing as an inanimate object in Hoffman's view. And obviously with a sort of pantheist understanding of nature, pagans would kind of say, we told you. See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, yeah, shout out to the pagans. Like, I don't have a problem with pagans. Like, to me, it's like, it's just preservation of old memories. You know what I'm saying? I don't think that everything in paganism is wrong, obviously. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think there's a lot of truth in paganism, and that's probably one of them. All right, 9.5. Would you give it?
9.2.
Excellent pick by Middle Earth. I wouldn't expect anything else from Middle Earth. You know how that go. Commercial break. We'll be right back.